How's it going, Sha?
Okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Sha. I feel good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel, I feel correct. You know, I feel
Oh no.
righteous.
Oh no. Okay. Well, the only reason you would feel that way is because you were correct on something. You either had to correct someone or you made a stance and someone said that's not right and you said, "Oh yeah." And now it turns out you were correct. You were right. And
Damn
now
right, Sha.
you're
Yes, indeed.
okay.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right. So what happened? Who'd you correct?
I went against every parent's wishes in my family. My
Mhm.
parents disagreed with me. My
Mhm.
in-laws disagreed with me. My wife disagreed with me. But the kids have been walking home now for 3 days. Okay.
Okay.
They've been doing
Oh.
great.
Mhm.
They're enjoying it, the added freedom, the trust.
Right.
They're doing well, I felt like they were old enough to do this,
Mhm.
but the pushback was just, all emotional, in my opinion. I feel like it had nothing to do with their preparedness. More
Mhm.
so, it was just like, I think it hit them that, like, the babies aren't babies anymore,
Right.
So
Mhm.
I was like, yo, you gotta let them rock. Plus, I gotta record podcasts. Okay. So I need them to handle this already.
And wait, how old are they?
My daughter just turned 13. I think she's old enough for this for sure. My
Uh-huh.
son's 11. He's the one that's like iffy, but he's also the closest commute. So I'm like, that
Mhm.
dude's like, he's like 3 blocks. Like,
Right.
this is my thing. Like, sincerely, from the corner, he could see the building. Like, if you
Okay.
get lost, that's on you. Like, I don't want you home at that point.
Mhm.
Like, if you
Right.
can't see,
Okay. I see.
if you can't get yourself to school looking at the school, yeah, don't come back. Like, I haven't done my job,
Mhm.
and you haven't been paying attention to what I've been teaching you. Okay? That's just like a
Okay.
basic life skill. I understood if it was like, yo, he got hit on the way. That's a real thing. Tell me that.
Mhm.
But like, you telling me you get lost when you looking at the building the whole way, that no, I won't stand for that in my house. So, but my daughter, like,
Okay.
she's dope. Like, she's been doing the walking thing. She's tested it a couple times. So like, we started off last week doing half walks
Mhm.
where, like, I created the midpoint was White Castle on Atlantic Avenue. I had her walk there,
Mhm.
and I would meet her in the parking lot, and I was like, okay, she got this, because that was the halfway point, and also it included the big cross street to cross, but it was at
Mhm.
a point where there was a crossing guard from another school. So I felt
Mhm.
like it was the right balance of, you know, adventure and testing her skills, but also security blankets.
Okay.
So I felt like this was good. I didn't tell anybody I was doing this at first. I felt like I would get too much pushback. So
Okay.
yeah, so I
Well.
was like, I'm just doing it. And then after I started on Monday, when they were like, yo, you can't be doing that, I was like, we've been doing it a week and a half already. I got data points, like, now I won the argument. But my kids are free now, they out here. And now they trying to like leverage it, right? Like, I brought it up in convo, and like at first I got pushback, but then like my dad was like, yo, go to the store for me. I was like, yo, hold up. You don't get to rein in on these, like, new privileges when you was just arguing against me. You gotta wait like a month or two minimum before I let you send my kids anywhere. You know?
Okay. Okay. All right.
He was giving
Huh.
too much beef about my decision for you to just rein in on it. But I'm proud. They figured it out. They're doing well. My son's a little too playful in the streets. I don't think he understands that there's still like real life going on around him. But my daughter, I think she has like a legit grasp on it. I'm happy, proud. It was cool to see like a mature moment of them. And I watched them, like, that was the thing. Like, I let them go, but I drove like a block behind them so I could see them.
Did they know that you were behind them?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So yeah, so she did well. He was like a little too, like, he was just hyped. He was just excited, like, oh shit, we by ourselves.
Right. Right.
But it worked out.
Okay. Well, I must say, as a card carrying member of Generation X, what took so long, but I understand. I understand that we're parenting differently now, and we're not just letting kids out in the street willy-nilly, um, like when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Uh, so I know this is definitely a big step. Um, Good for them. Congrats. Um, but yeah, man, 13. I mean,
Right.
she should be driving.
That's
No,
what I'm
I'm just
saying,
kidding.
yo.
I mean, like, I mean, a part of me is like, no, that's great, and I'm glad that you were able to get them to, you know, show everyone that they're ready for this. But another part of me was like, yo, at 9, I was walking myself, my sister, and 2 other small kids home at 9. So, and that was in Georgia where we were going through like woods. Like we could have gone down the street, but Atlanta's not necessarily, or at least a part of DeKalb County we were living in was not really known for its sidewalks and crosswalks. And there was a crossing guard for us to cross a very big street, and then they were like, "You're good," and then we were just in the ditch. So you know, like in a city that's extremely walkable,
Yeah.
um, like that's great. But you know, talk to me when they gotta walk sideways on the side of an incline to get home. But you know, I mean, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
That's what surprised me the most about this. Like, I kind of get my wife's pushback, right? Like,
Hmm.
she's their mom. I get that. She's like directly involved with them.
Yes.
I get that. I'm not gonna fight her on that feeling. But I've been hearing all of these grandparents tell me about they like 3-mile journeys to school for years.
Yeah.
My dad would tell you, yeah, I had to kill 3 like cats on the way to school every day because they
Yep.
wouldn't let me cross. Like I was like, yo, you was out here hunting on the way to class,
Right. Right.
and I can't just send my kid home. And I'm like, there's no pressure. Like I don't know what you want. Like Atlantic Avenue could not have more cameras. Like if something went wrong,
True.
there's so much proof. There's so many cars. There's so many people walking down that street. Right, every single street she's on is a main street. I don't live on no side street. Like even my street is like a main street. And then when you get to my block, I live on the latter part of the corner, but on the first corner, my parents live there. So like, there's no point where she's not even covered. Like you get to the corner, you have my parents' crib. You walk in the middle of the block, you at the mechanic shop that literally does my dad in my car. And then you at my house.
Yeah.
Like you constantly bumping into people that you vibe with. I think it's good.
Too much of the village literally is going to kick in.
Yeah.
The village that it takes to raise a child. It has already been in place and preparing for this moment. Like the whole neighborhood will be looking out for them.
Yeah.
That said, I guess maybe their concern is the part of the neighborhood that's been looking out for them.
Okay.
So, but I mean, that's like the thing, that you have to hope that your kids are open enough to tell you when something like that happens, when something wild happens.
Yeah.
So that's the main concern. But as far as like, going off and doing something goofy or just thinking that no one can see, like everyone's paying attention. Like they'll figure out soon enough how big that network is.
Right.
Yeah. They thought it was big when they were younger. It is huge now because people literally watch them like grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between like, I feel like I'm kind of like well known in my neighborhood. My dad is extremely well known in the neighborhood, and he's literally just chilling like outside during the day.
Right.
Like there's too much like coverage. Like I'm not like worried, So
right.
I feel like safety wise is covered, and whatever random things that come up, that like might be a little awkward or uncomfortable. That's exactly why I want them doing this. Like, you got to learn that stuff. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, like I don't know how to explain how to handle when someone asks you for $1 at the corner store until someone asks you for $1 at the corner store. Like, you gotta
Right.
like, manage that situation of like, do you want to give the person $1? Are you safe doing so? Do you have like, there's so many like dynamics that you gotta juggle in your head that like I can't give you the 100% answer every time. Cause they
Right.
asked me like that. Like, that was this, and this, it's a weird example but it just happened like the same week. They had like 4 people ask me for $1 in different dynamics. And
Mm-hmm.
I gave 2 of them money and 2 of them I did not. And they were
Okay.
like, why'd you do it this time and not this time? So I was like, one of the times it was at the corner store with my son, and it was like 11 o'clock, right? It was a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I was picking up a quick drink. I didn't want to leave him alone in the car. I brought him inside. I got the drink. I didn't give that guy $1. He said, why
Mm-hmm.
didn't you give that guy $1? I was like, because it's late. It's not my corner store, so I don't know that guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I'm with you in particular, my guard is extra up. So while I would love to do good and give
Mm-hmm.
somebody $1 that isn't going to hurt me, I can't risk that this is the 1% chance that this isn't just the guy asking for $1 when I'm with you. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I would love to help, but I can't. I got to prioritize you first. Whereas later, the next day, someone asked me for $1 at the McDonald's drive-thru. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave that guy $1. And he's like, why'd you give him $1, not the other guy? I was like, because this guy, I see him regularly in the area. I kind of
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable with him. I've seen what how he acts for $1. I don't feel like it's a weird dynamic. I feel like he's legit looking for food. He's a local
Mm-hmm.
from the neighborhood that I can help. And I feel safe that if something were to happen, we're around home field. Like, you're protected. You're in the car. Like, there's a lot of extra safety that I felt about your part of it, that I could do something good for this person and you're not in jeopardy. So like stuff like that. Then he saw me give someone $1 away from them. And I was like, yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
another dynamic like that. Like, you're with your mom. I'm away by like 100 feet. So something go down, I'm the only one getting like juxed. Like, you
Okay.
good. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I try to be good with that, but there was like, it's a thorough explanation. Like, it takes life experience to like
Right.
weigh all that out in my head. And they need that. And I don't know I can't explain the nuances of all of those things that come up in being outside
Mm-hmm.
unless you just start being outside.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. You gotta give that leash some slack, You gotta give that leash some slack
they
and
out
let
there.
them go ahead and walk as far as you can. For
Amen.
sure.
And also,
Yeah.
my final argument, I know it doesn't technically like make sense, but it makes sense to me. My
Mm-hmm.
daughter takes a jug of coffee to school every day. Every day. She
Mm-hmm.
gets up in the morning, she makes coffee, she goes to school, and I've asked her about it. She's like, yeah, like I need it on Thursdays and Fridays. I make it extra dark during the week. I'm Monday and Tuesday. I'm fine, so I just make it a little more like milk and sugar basically. I like the taste, and I feel like anyone that's like dealing with life to the point the way they have like different coffee needs during the week, you can handle crossing the street. You
Yeah,
good?
you'll be all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can cross the street. I don't know how to work a coffee machine.
If you doing that level thinking at 7 o'clock in the morning, I feel confident you can handle walking home these 8 blocks or
I'm not
whatever.
up at 7. I've been physically awake at 7. I've been in the shower at 7. I'm not awake. I'm not up. So, yeah, go on and let her walk to school.
Amen. That's what we doing out here. Victory, Gastor. That's what I'm talking about. I
Okay.
do this parenting thing.
It's the passage of time, yes. But
Yeah.
okay, victory. You've been vindicated.
Hell yeah.
Congrats.
That's what I do.
Uh-huh.
New badge on my
Okay.
shirt.
All
You know what I'm
right.
saying? New belt
Okay.
getting printed. New trophy
Man,
added to the case.
I can't wait until they are outside.
Oh, that's where you're gonna see me reckless.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Are
crazy.
we? I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more of you actually like weeping and asking your wife, like, but what is happening out there?
I'm 100% gonna cry the first day of college. I know it from now.
That's it. That's all you've got penciled in.
But like that one's like in the bag. Like I know,
Okay.
like drop off, I'm a lose it like
Mm.
100%. I started crying yesterday watching that new Ryan Reynolds movie on Netflix. There, like he time travels to his like younger self. I lost it like
Hmm.
4 times in that movie by myself.
Oh yeah, you ain't ready.
So I know I'm gonna cry. It is what it is.
Yeah,
I've
you are not
accepted it.
ready at all.
But you know who is ready? My kids across these streets, baby. They out here. Let's get into the news. Welcome back, Sha.
Oh, thank you.
We out here getting
All
into this
right.
today. Director Jane Campion. Don't know how to say her last name.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
Apologize.
good enough.
That's close.
I said that's good enough.
Jane Campion apologizes for her thoughtless comment about Venus and Serena Williams. That's right. Director Jane Campion has apologized to tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams, calling a comment she made during her acceptance speech on Sunday night's Critics' Choice Award thoughtless. The social media air directed toward Campion over her speech for Best Director stemmed from one particular moment that came after she acknowledged the other nominees in the category, who were all men. Power of the Dog. Helmer then said, Venus and Serena, you're such marvels. However, you don't play against the guys like I have to. In addition to being inaccurate, the tennis champions have faced off men. Some perceived Campion's statement as being dismissive of the two successful black women's accomplishments. I made a thoughtless comment equating what I do in the film world with all that Serena Williams and Venus Williams have achieved. I did not intend to devalue these two legendary black women and world-class athletes, Campion said on Monday in a statement via her representatives. The fact is that the Williams sisters have actually squared off against men on the court and off, and they have both raised the bar and opened doors for what is possible for women in this world. The last thing I would ever want to do is minimize remarkable women.
Okay. All right. Look, here's the thing. I was on a boat I was gone from the internet for 7 days, right?
Living your best life, I have to say, by the way, Sha.
I mean, I took pictures so that it would seem as such. But so when I came back to the internet, I came back to a few the ends of a few stories, and I was just like, "Ooh, Lord, what happened here?" You know. and and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and this had happened at the Critics' Choice Awards, and I was just like, first, what I'd seen was where Jane Campion had said what she said, and it was just so as a black woman, as a black woman, I think was the noise I made as I threw my phone across the room. Jeez, like I haven't watched the clip, but no one. Why did you? And I don't mean this in like why would you even mention Venus or Serena? Because I know why they were there, right?
Right.
They were there because they were executive producers of the movie King Richard about their father. And so that's why they were at the Critics' Choice Awards, Will Smith getting some, nominations and whatnot for his portrayal. They're there as executive producers. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Um, Ain't no one called for Jane Campion. She's having her moment. You understand? She, rightfully so, should be happy with being a female director who managed to win an award over all of these male directors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is very rare right now.
Respect.
Let's bask in that glory. Congrats. People love your movie or whatever. They thought you did a great job. Fantastic. Wah, wah, wah. Why didn't you? What are you doing? Why didn't you call out any of the other executive producers of other movies? Because right now, what she was harping on was just like, and I beat the men, huh? How about it? The men, great, wonderful, kudos.
Mm-hmm.
Call out. You, those were the only executive producers of movies that you saw. There are other ones. What's the problem? So to call them out, first of all, is just like, why? They didn't do nothing. They just trying to sit there and eat their food. Like, leave them alone. Leave them alone. And then that you don't even have to talk about any executive producers, really. You keep the smoke towards the directors.
Right.
Smoke towards the directors. And got shit to do with any executive producer at all at this point. And then in her celebration, mention let's not even put race into it right now. To point out two women who are well known for what they do and the accomplishments they've done, and to belittle two women because you think they don't go up against men like you just did is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're already getting an award. Why are you now calling out other women for not doing it like you did it? Like, that's unnecessary. Okay, so that's 2. 3, bitch, what is you doing? Ain't no one. Why you got these black women's names in your mouth? Ain't no one checking for you. Like, why are you doing that? Win your award. And it's just like that whole thing of like, you wish you could, or you guys might be great, but you're not even going up against, like, what is no one. And also the reaction to that was just like, well, I mean, it was like a joke. Look here, white women been saying shady shit for eons to black women, to women of color, and we got to sit there and take it, because the minute we look like what? Everyone's like, oh, look, she's angry. They're always angry. Why are they so angry? Look, their movie was nominated. So you're trying to avoid that. I don't think white people understand how much they say wild shit. And anyone who's not a white person just has to be like, huh. Okay, I'll laugh along with you. There are so many times. And again, if you want to take the race out of it, you just did that to two women. So where's the sisterhood that you talking about?
Word.
If you're so proud of being a woman, finally beating the men at something, why are you calling out two women for not going up against men at their own thing, which isn't even what you competed in, and ain't got shit to do with you winning an award? What sisterhood is that? What kind of feminism is that? Okay, I see you. And then, so this apology is just like somebody, like saying some wild shit in a meeting, and then someone pulling them aside later and going, hey, you did a thing that's probably not cool.
Word.
And them coming up to you in the break room and going, oh my gosh, they just told me that I said this thing that was really mean, and I'm so sorry. And I just, I've just never, it's just so hard to keep up. And I mean, you guys you're great. You're wonderful at what you do. And I was just so wrong. And none of that had to happen if you had just kept it moving and kept my name out of your mouth. You didn't have to, none of that. And for everyone who is out there like, well, they seem to be having fun, you could see them later at their after party. Here's a picture of Jane Campion hugging Venus. No, there's a picture of Jane Campion with her arms around her and her head on Venus's, or her hand on Venus's head, like, yeah, look, we're cool.
Yeah.
And Venus just like, someone get this woman off of me. There's a close-up of Venus like kind of laughing at what Jane had said. And if you can't look in her eyes and see that she's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't see the what the fuck in her eye, then I don't know if you've really been repressed. I don't know if anyone's ever said anything sideways to you and you're like, oh my God, but you got to keep this job. You got to keep your composure. You got to, you have a million things going on. The camera's on you right now. You know that there's a history of people shitting on you because you dare to make your way in a space that was not deemed for you mere years before you started. So all of that math is going on in Venus's head, and she knows she has to smile it off. That's bullshit. Fuck you and your little movie, Jane Campion. I hadn't watched it yet. I don't got 3 hours to spend in the dirt, which really makes me sad. Makes me sad. I do love Kirsten Dunst so much. I really love Kirsten Dunst, and so I may end up putting it on while I fold laundry or some shit, but whatever. And anyway, most importantly, you should have known that she was going to say some shit like this, because when she said something about, who was it, Sam Elliott, who got mad because it's about gay men in the Western, and he was like, the West isn't like this, cowboys aren't like this, and she was like, you're not a cowboy, you're an actor. What she said at first was, well, I thought he was being a bitch about it. Say bitch. This genteel, any woman who spells out bitch in like a genteel fashion absolutely is going to throw black women under the bus. Any white woman who spells it out in like a pearl clutching way, who's too scared to say the word because she's above it, absolutely is going to say some wild shit about black women when she's on top. Absolutely. I can't see how y'all didn't see that shit coming. When she said, I thought he was being a bitch about it, I was like, why didn't you just say bitch? You grown. You got nothing but gray hair on you and you spelling out bitch? Get the fuck out of here. Anywho, that's all I got to say on it.
So first off, welcome back, Shalewa Sharpe, everybody. How the fuck
I've been so angry about that shit for 2 days. I'm like, what is this? What is this? Everyone should have known. You should have known from the first spelling of bitch.
Hell yeah. That should be like on Google Alerts, okay? You know what I mean?
If you can't say bitch to a white man that you are trying to own, if that's how you feel, but you can say, oh, you two don't even go up against me. Nah. Say, use all your smoke. Use all your gunpowder.
Yo.
Just don't, yeah.
Jane.
What are you scared of? Why didn't you just call him a bitch instead of spell it out? What's he gonna do? Like you said, he's an actor.
Yo, Shop, I'm about to pay for you to go on boat rides every week if you come back with this energy. On God. I'll mortgage my house again if this is happens. We gonna figure this out.
No, you don't have to. Every once in a while, some woman is going to say some wild backdoor, like talking out of the side of her neck bullshit, and I'm gonna be upset. Just catch the story, and you'll get me popping off like this. Catch the news story of somebody saying that, and you'll get me popping off like this, because it's just, I can't believe people were even. It's just, we're putting too much faith in women who seem saucy, not sassy, because sassy is for black women who quote speak their mind and are maybe a little chubby. That's sassy. But saucy is a white woman who isn't scared to tell Sam Elliott that he's an actor. But also isn't scared to be completely wrong about Venus and Serena and needs to have an assistant tell her that the next day.
Yeah, the timing is what irked me with this. Like, I say shit out of pocket all the time. Like, genuinely, completely, like, trying to make a joke. I get that. You're not a comedian. She shouldn't have been trying random funny shit. Is what we do is hard. We fuck up. I know you're going to fuck up. Yeah.
Yep.
But with that said, like, I know almost like instantly when I say something that I shouldn't have said. Like, it like boils in my stomach. And if it was offensive to somebody, I have a genuine apology soon after. And even if it took time to reflect, like an intern told you, an assistant told you, it shows in your response. Like, if you would have done this and genuinely felt wrong, this should have been like an IG live. Yo, my bad. Venus, Serena, I ain't mean none of that shit. I was wide out of pocket. Like this, now you said some crazy shit on stage freestyling, and then I get like this typed up thing that you probably ain't even, you wasn't even in the room when they typed that shit.
Be her representative.
Yeah. So you had all this like freestyle energy when it came to putting me down that was mad emotional, but now I get the text response 2 days later.
the response written in the notes app.
Yeah.
That notes app response, I would have respected it more if it had been a notes app response, even though I know it wasn't her phone. I don't know if you can get the notes app on the Jitterbug 12, but
yo, you got to match that energy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to put it back. Like, you got to show me that genuine feeling that you felt like you were trying to convey here. Because you were trying to convey something positive, you fucked up. If it was genuinely coming from a good place and you slipped, you would have had this. You would have doubled down on that after, like, oh, yo, my bad. It wasn't about that, and you would have said something there. But like, this text shit you said 3 days later, after like the whole world told you, yo, you wrong.
Also, it probably took someone saying, imagine if a man had said that to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just like, oh, you said this thing to Venus and Serena, and like, maybe she immediately thought, oh, like race thing. And she's like, well, I didn't mean anything racial by it at all. So I'm not gonna, why would I respond? I didn't mean for it to be racial, which I could totally see that being the case in her school of thought. Just like, what? I just made a little joke. But I'm sure it took someone explaining, like, suppose another woman had said that to you, or how can you look at them laughing? Haven't you had a man say something about you and you knew you needed to laugh it off? Like, don't use the fact that the two of them were laughing at what you said as acceptance of what you said.
Right.
They're in an awkward situation, not their normal situation. This is your more normal situation because you are a filmmaker. And imagine, someone saying some wild shit about you and you knowing that you have to sit there and laugh because you're still trying to get movies made, which is something that you are still struggling with, like, to this day, because you are a woman making movies. So already that's a struggle. So now you're being celebrated, and the first thing you do is turn to the other women that you see, and you're like, what? Get the fuck out of here. So that, that's still taking the race out of it. You just see other women, and then you're like, boo, I'm up here. Well, they weren't even up. It was, it's so annoying. So annoying.
Out of pocket. Okay.
Out of pocket. And just like, as we are back in the world and people are really having to interact more, the microaggression situation is going to be rougher, I think, because before people would just drop microaggressions and keep it moving, like, and you were just left there, a shell of yourself, having to make yourself whole and whatever, as you deal with this wild shit that people said. Now, white people are to some extent aware that it happens, which means now you're having to deal with them trying to show you that they're not racist. They didn't mean it in that way. But I'd rather you just say the microaggression and keep moving. And then I can go, got it. And then I can put you in your little spot in my brain, and then I know how to deal with you accordingly. But this coming back and apologizing over some bullshit and trying to explain that you didn't really mean and you hadn't really, I don't have time for that's your work. Do that at your desk. Do that with your people.
Word.
Don't do that with me. I don't care what was going on in your brain. I know what was going on in your brain. White folks, I know what's going on in your brain more than y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You make sure everyone knows what you're thinking. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care anymore. I don't care what's going on in your brains.
Also, yo, low key, I promise you, this what I thought. Serena, Venus, first movie, they already getting nominated. I promise you. Hand Jane Campion a racket. See how long it take her. Win anything.
Nah.
Ain't gonna happen, my G.
I bet she's a beast at squash. I bet she's playing this pickleball thing that the kids are all about. I bet she's killing it.
Oh man. Good luck to you. But I'm betting money on Serena and Venus.
I mean, look, hey, there's still I don't know. There are the Oscars coming up. Who knows? You'll probably win that. And then I can't wait to see what awkward thing you say based on whoever is within eyesight. Everybody in the splash zone when Jane Campion's up there can get it. So, you've been
warned, okay?
Just watch out. They got you in the first 3 rows. That bitch may have something to say to you.
That's it. It's like a hurtful version of a Nickelodeon show, okay?
So just be careful.
Oh, man. In other news, in China, 37 million people are on COVID lockdown currently. Tens of millions of people are living under lockdown in China as the country battles its worst COVID-19 outbreak since the early days of the pandemic. This outbreak has spread far faster than previous waves of less infectious variants, with daily cases skyrocketing from a few dozen in February to more than 5,100 on Tuesday, the highest figure since the early 2020 outbreak in Wuhan. The number may sound low compared to other countries, but it is alarmingly high for a nation that has attempted to stamp out outbreaks and chains of transmission with the strict zero COVID policy throughout the pandemic. As of Tuesday, cases have been reported in 21 provinces and municipalities nationwide, including the national capital of Beijing and other major cities like Shanghai and Shenzhen. These cases may still be in their thousands, but as of Tuesday, 37 million people were in lockdown.
Wow.
This is the current Omicron variant.
Wow. I thought I saw somewhere that it was a lot of older people are not getting vaccinated, that they didn't want to get the vaccine.
They got to get on it.
And I mean, there are so many people. There are so many people in China. If you'll allow me to be an idiot, there are so many people in China.
I'm telling you, my like spray the people. This is where it would work. You know what I mean? Like just do like pesticide with like farms. That's how you should do the vaccination. Like volunteer. Like I'm not saying like force it on people. I'm saying it should be like it should be like, yo, if you want to get the vaccine, meet up at Shanghai Square. You know what I mean? Tuesday, 3:00, we spraying. You know what I mean? And then like once you pass like a certain like they'll have like little like belts, like how they got at the movie theater. The little like they'll let you know like, yo, if you pass this line, you definitely gonna get sprayed and you get like a sticker and you good. And now boom, you took care of like 2 million people or some shit.
Yeah, that's insane. What an insane! So we're just gonna spray DEET on them? We're just gonna.
It's like Febreze that shit, from the air, like drop it.
No, I don't think that's gonna. Also, I mean, there's wind. Look, I don't see how you're gonna keep it within the movie theater line. Markers.
Barricades they put up. Yeah, like you pass the barricade, you guaranteed to get a full dosage. You out the barricade, you right, there's wind factor. You're going to get a little bit, but it's not enough to count as a full vaccination shot. So, like, you might get like 14% immunity, like the Johnson & Johnson kind of, but not on purpose.
This is, of your terrible ideas, this is up there.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, no, it will catch fire. It absolutely that feels like a flammable idea. Not flames, but flammable. That's different. Oh my gosh. Yo, I guess the lockdown might work. It was working for him before,
Yeah, and
right?
even now, like, while these are scary numbers for them, these are still way smaller than
Yeah,
anything we've had when you consider like total number and versus population,
yeah, because again, I gotta reiterate, there are so many people in China.
Word.
So for them to keep numbers this low is kind of impressive, but it's also kind of a shame that it's happening. But I mean, I feel like at this point, it's just making its way around. I look at the New York Times almost every morning, and they've got just a little graphic of where the hot spots are in the United States and then globally. And we're only just now getting to the nice peachy apricot colors of, yeah, we're not hot. Whereas before we were like deep purple. But Asia is pretty dark, like a brick
Yeah.
red. So it's hot. It's just moving around. And so that's I mean, like that's just kind of like they're gonna have to, do this, lock this down for like, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks. How long did Omarion tap dance on our heads here?
He was doing
Like two
numbers. Yeah, he
months?
was out here.
Yeah. So, and still is, by the way. I know everybody's just walking around not wearing a mask. I went to a concert last night and wore a mask the entire time. Made sure I had my Vax card, all that shit. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm the old head. Because ain't no one asked for nothing.
Everybody looking
Like,
at you like
oh,
you bugging, like, what? Okay.
yeah, what you with a mask on? And I was like, okay, great. So I'm the one that's stuck in the past. Vaccination card, why you always bringing up old shit? Because it's still here.
Oh,
I
man.
couldn't figure it out. We met up with someone, everyone around, no one had a mask. I was just like, huh, this is weird. No one has a mask on. What's going on? I'm the only one in here with a ridiculous duckbill mask.
Yeah, you went on that cruise and came back like 4 years later,
It really, before I left for the cruise, it was just like, I think we're lifting mask mandates. And I came back and now everybody's just licking everyone. And I'm like, what happened?
That's how you buy stuff at the store now,
Yeah, like yikes.
You order a sandwich, you got to lick ock, okay? That's how it works now, okay?
And all the home tests were not in the drugstore I went in, whereas before I left, they had a whole bunch of them. And I'm like, well, y'all just put them in the back. They moved them out of the way for Easter candy. I was just like, I don't even know anymore. Okay, all right, I guess fine. I don't know. I'm still going to wear a mask because I don't trust none of y'all. So now I'm that person.
It's all good, Sean, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to wear a mask in solidarity today.
Okay, and today.
Yeah.
All right. Uh-huh.
My kids still wear it, I'm with you. We trying.
Yeah. It's scary. I'm still scared. I'm scared all the time.
In other news, brawl erupts outside of a New York City store during the release of the Burberry Supreme collab. That's right. The release of a new collaboration between Burberry and Supreme erupted in violence on Thursday as several shoppers brawled in front of the British luxury brand's Dover Street Market store in New York City. Footage of the fight circulated out on social media, which showed several men throwing punches and punching each other as a long line of shoppers looked on. In another clip captured by TMZ, of course, a group of men traded shots against a FedEx truck in the street before a pair of police officers stepped in to end the tussle. Although it's unclear what started the scuffle, an NYPD person told the New York Post that no injuries were reported at the scene.
What are you throwing fisticuffs for? What needs to drop for you to get in a fight in the street in front of everybody and their cell phone? What would have to drop for you to get into a fight?
I mean, today, admittedly, that list is short. Yeah, like I'm
okay.
I'm an adult now. Like I feel like I could think like I would do it for like a Timberland Hennessy collab. Like something like that would be dope. Like really
What?
like one of one, like
Yeah.
collab of the culture. I want like tennis, like Timberlands with like Henny, with the Henny label where the leather would be.
Oh, okay. So you want the whole boot to look like
Yeah.
the Henny label.
Yeah.
All right. Patent pending. No one steal
Bang.
that.
Merch.
Hennessy, holla at us. That's wild. Would you accept a Crown Royal Adidas? Would you accept a Crown Royal Adidas?
It's the weirdest game of poker ever. I see you.
Oh boy.
How about you? What would you do this for?
I honestly can't think of anything that I would fight someone over.
Yeah?
Yeah. I can't think. I'm just like, I guess it's not for me.
Nah, I definitely swing for people over some things. It's a shorter list. Like I think like at 20, I would have like ratted off a ton of things I'd have swung on people. Like real things and like potential things. But like now it's like dream things. I would definitely swing on somebody for season tickets. Like you give me like season tickets to the Nets.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Courtside, wow. I might even catch a body for courtside.
Okay.
Like for real.
I feel like you could just make a couple of calls and make that happen. I don't think.
Well, courtside,
I feel like right now,
courtside is like big money. Like if I had season tickets courtside, that's like $250,000 experience. You know?
I mean, for other teams, for the Nets.
Yeah.
And I say that with all due respect.
Just because of the drama.
Just because of the drama.
You know? And this year I would have been sitting, chilling with like, some real celebs. They came out to see them, kind of make the playoffs. It'd have been great. I would definitely do it for that.
No, I don't think I could.
No?
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, no. First off, what am I even going to stand in line for? And I can't think of anything.
What?
Yeah, that I would stand in line long enough that if I saw someone, like it would have to be something like no, I wouldn't fight anyone for a concert. But look, I've flown on Southwest, so I know what it's like to fight for seats. Like punch your way through for seats. I know what that's like. But otherwise, nah. So unless it's like it's a transportation issue keeping me from a thing, like an important thing, I'm not. I mean, I'd have to be furious. I'd have to be in a blind rage for me to want to swing on you. Like to actually swing on you.
Right.
I want to punch people and things all the time.
Yeah.
But to actually swing on you, you had to have disrespected me in like a very deep way for me to be like, oh, word? And then. But otherwise, I can't think of any like thing.
Right.
Like we're all stupid standing in line for this fucking umbrella or whatever. Like I'm not. Yeah.
Nah, I dig that.
It is ridiculous, especially when you consider most of those people are in line for shit that's going to be on resale like 3 hours later.
But they're going to be the ones reselling it,
Yeah, exactly.
They coming up. It's a hustle. That's why they fighting, because it's like, this is like 3X come up. Like, this is like work. They clocking
that's
in.
True. Yeah. So I understand why you're fighting, but I can't think of anything that I would certainly not Burberry. I mean, they had a nice cologne.
Yeah.
And I like their plaid. I like tans and reds together, but not enough. I mean, there's so much fake Burberry.
Right.
And all Supreme does is just stencil Supreme on it. Fucking go to Kentucky and work it out. Work it out. Go to any kiosk in the middle of any mall. Get the Burberry, that's what extra R's or some shit, and just write Supreme on it in a red Sharpie, and I think you're good. It don't have to be like this, y'all. It doesn't have to be like this.
That's it, baby. Be peaceful.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's not
You don't have
necessary.
to do all that.
You don't got to
It's
do the
not
swings, okay?
necessary.
Chill
And I'm
out,
sure
baby.
that stuff wasn't cute. I'm sure it wasn't cute. Whatever it was.
And you need such specific stuff. Like, for that to work, I promise you, even if you got them, you don't got the matching shirt. You don't got the outfit for that. Leave it there.
That's true.
It's too much. You only gonna get to wear that shit once. It's gonna look like a Burberry outfit. How often can you rock that? For real.
Yeah, a full, like, you're going to be, here comes Captain Burberry.
Shit is one
So,
of
yeah.
one. That's a New Year's outfit. That's it. You was out here swinging to look good for 4 hours.
Oh, boy.
Public service loan forgiveness. 100,000 borrowers are eligible so far under the new rules. That's right. The Department of Education said Wednesday that it has so far identified 100,000 borrowers who are eligible for student loan debt cancellation due to changes the agency made to the public service loan forgiveness program in October. The cancellations for those people are expected to total about $6.2 billion in federal student debt relief. Not all of the eligible borrowers have been notified of their debt relief yet. They are being notified on a rolling basis, and the Department of Education could not provide a date when all of them will have been contacted, of course. So keep making payments in the meantime while we
keep making payments, but I swear to you, we will let you know, and then it'll be, but in the meantime, I'm going to need my money.
The announcement marks the latest effort by the Biden administration to make it easier for some borrowers to qualify for loan forgiveness under existing programs, but the administration's piecemeal approach still falls short of the president's campaign pledge to support canceling $10,000 for each of the roughly 43 million people who currently hold federal student loan debt. Jesus Christ.
What's 100,000 people to a king? What is that? Yeah, millions of people are in over their head because they were trying to better themselves based on the lie of an American dream that you sold us years ago. If you don't just fucking get rid of just it's literally a stroke of your pen.
That's like
that's all it is.
So like 1/8 of the country. That is wild. Yeah. That's including babies. Like there's people that have not gone to college yet. And the 8th of us still, that is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. That number is crazy. 43 million people.
I don't feel like celebrating these little itty bitty, like, look, we bought, No.
Yeah, my whole energy just changed. I was like, that's cool. 43 million people who need help, my G.
Yeah. Quit bullshitting. Quit bullshitting. Everything you're saying to me is quit bullshitting until you're like, all right, what about if we, like, all right, for like 20 million folks? Okay. That's like half.
You know what this reminded me of too? Like,
what's that?
Magic Johnson was doing an interview once, and like they asked him, how'd you get so rich, so fast? And he said, when I first started doing business, I was trying to buy like a little restaurant, and I was going through all the paperwork, and I realized that like it takes the same amount of paperwork to make $1 million as it does to make $100 million. Like, I still got to sign the same amount of papers. It don't change. So, like, if you do $1 million paperwork, you still could have done $100 million in business. You just haven't figured out how to do that yet. But the paperwork's the same. I haven't signed a single extra page. And that's kind of what Biden's doing here. You still signing shit. Like, you already signed something to forgive 10,000 people. It's the same. You just needed to write, like, a few more zeros. You was doing the paperwork. You did the paper. Why we adding layers of paperwork? You could have just been done.
Okay. All right. At first I was like, where are you going with this, Magic Johnson? What is Magic Johnson saying? I don't understand.
My pivots are crazy, okay?
Okay.
You don't know where I'm coming from?
No, that's great. That's great. Now I get it. Yeah, just go ahead and...
You did it.
Sure.
You did the work. You did all the homework. You checked it. You double-checked it. You checked it again.
Yeah.
It works.
Like, be bold.
Yeah.
Be bold. Just... absolutely wipe all of that out in one. Like, why are we doing this
That's
weird
it.
incremental? I'm not going to celebrate it until it makes a difference.
And we know you're not running at this point, my G. It's
Yeah.
not because you tired. You don't want to do it no more. I get it.
Yeah.
So just go in there. Do the wildness, B.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't even forgive
Leave
money.
it for the
Give
next
money.
person.
Just give people money at this point. Who cares?
Yeah.
Forgive or the debt. Send people a check. Send them weird numbers. Be like, yo, it's $374. Who cares? Wow out, my G. This is on me,
Oh
your
my
brother, Big
God.
Joe Biden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just do that.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
I promise you. 10,000 off your loan and a little extra cash. You can make a car payment, courtesy of your boy Joe, and sign it just like that.
Courtesy of your boy Joe. Joey B taking care of you.
Joey
Who
B.
takes care of you, baby? Joey B. Joey B.
I promise it'll be the best thing for your legacy, B.
It really would. Like, it would absolutely. You're all this trying to get back to normal and civility and all that shit. Nah, man. Trump fucking broke the system. He found all the weak spots and he stomped on them.
Yeah.
Like, why are we trying to put it back together? None of it's going to fit. We've seen what is possible.
That's it. He Humpty Dumpty this
fucking
whole
do that.
shit, my G.
He did. He just. We need a new egg.
That's
Maybe
it.
we don't even need an egg anymore. Maybe we ain't doing eggs no
That's
more.
it.
How about that?
It's over. It's a tofu
Yeah.
country now, okay? That's it. Accept it, okay? I want my 374 next week, okay? A rare wolverine captured and photographed in Yellowstone National Park. That's right. A tour guide captured a rare photograph of an even more rare wolverine in Yellowstone National Park. McNeil Lyons, dope name, owner and tour guide of Yellowstone Insight and former park ranger, was with the tour group on March 5th when they stumbled across the animal. My guest said out loud exactly what I was thinking. Is that a bear? For a hot second, I love this guy. For a hot second, that's a quote from him. For a hot second, we both thought it might be a young black bear moving away from us. But as it turned and looked over its right shoulder toward us, there was no mistaking that the animal was indeed a wolverine. That's right. The site capture is deemed an amazing moment, as there are believed to be only 6 or 7 wolverines within Yellowstone's 2.2 million acres, according to the National Park Service. Such encounters are so rare that the NPS and conservation groups encourage those lucky enough to experience one to note the location and take photographs from a safe distance without disturbing the animal for location and population purposes, then report it to the visitor center or park ranger.
Wow.
Yeah. Wolverine population was decimated in the lower 48 by the 1930s due to commercial trapping and predator control efforts and has never fully recovered.
Not even after all the movies?
They had good press, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were rare. I thought like with the movies, the Michigan team, you know, I thought there was tons of these things. I didn't know this was a rare thing at all. Low key, I honestly thought like if I had enough money, I could have a pet Wolverine. It looks like a real cool cat.
No, no. Wolverine doesn't look like a real cool cat. It looks like a weird bear. That was the other thing and I know it was just maybe the picture, but I was like, well, that's not how I thought Wolverines would look. And I think I thought Wolverines were in another country. Like, I don't think I ever thought they were in America, but I did not think that they were almost extinct.
Yo.
I thought there were plenty of them, but they were probably like Africa.
Yeah. Like I also assume like Wolverines be fucking. Like I assume they procreate.
Yeah, I mean, if we see this one Wolverine,
it's sexy Wolverine, yo,
and it's rare, there's got to be at least 2 other Wolverines, Ma and Pa. You know, huh?
Like low key, Wolverine is one of 6. It hasn't seen people in years, but like his fur's pretty well kept. Like he's seeing somebody. You know what I mean? Like he got appointments somewhere.
I mean, he's lined up.
Yo,
His
telling you,
hairline is straight.
got a little shape up. He's on point.
Yeah. He's seeing someone. This rare Wolverine is out here on Tinder, I guess.
Yo, shots to Wolverines, yo. Y'all doing y'all thing out there in these streets.
Maybe not shots. I feel like that was part of the issue. Why some of y'all are not with us anymore. But kudos to you, I guess.
Word, much respect. Yo, and props to Marvel, by the way. When you Google Wolverine, like they dominate that search.
Yeah,
that's probably why you don't see what the Wolverines are doing anymore. Like you just be finding comic book searches.
Yeah, I want actual Wolverines to let's try to replenish those numbers because Marvel has really got a hold on what you are, and I want you to come back and correct that. Let's do a course correction on Wolverines.
Seriously.
They are not all actors from Australia. They also are actual animals.
You know how wild it is that I have to type in Wolverine mammal and it still loses that battle. Like there's still a lot of Hugh Jackman pictures and Wolverine mammal.
Oh, are Wolverines mammals?
I don't know. I just know that that's like the third most searched term. And that's when
okay.
That's when it finally starts to get 50-50. If you type in Wolverine alone, you see a lot of Wolverine, the comic book, and Hugh Jackman. Then if you type in Wolverine character, comic book, and Hugh Jackman dominate that 100-1. Wolverine mammal is 50-50.
Okay.
You still, because technically, I guess Hugh Jackman is still a mammal, so I get it.
Yeah,
if you're going by that, but geez, respect. They did great with that.
Wolverine. Actual Wolverines, we got to work on your SEO.
Yo,
your search. we got to work on that. We got to get it back for you. We got to snatch it back.
So the 80 of y'all get together.
Right.
You got to work on this.
Oh my gosh.
In other news, Pete Davidson and 5 paying customers to fly on Jeff Bezos' suborbital rocket. I think that's how I say that. Suborbital. There you go. Pete Davidson will become the latest celebrity to fly to space with Jeff Bezos' rocket company Blue Origin in a brief suborbital why I keep adding a syllable? Suborbital flight slated for later this month. The company announced Monday morning that Davidson, the Saturday Night Live star, who's become a pillar of entertainment intrigue amid his relationships with Kim Kardashian, will fly alongside 5 paying customers on Blue Origin's 60-foot-tall New Shepard rocket. The launch is slated for March 23rd, so at 8:30 Central Time. According to Blue Origin, you'll be able to watch the man fly off right there, boy. The announcement comes after CNN confirmed earlier that Davidson was in talks with the company for a seat aboard its supersonic rocket, which launches vertically from a rural Texas launch pad on Bezos Ranch.
Okay, stop. Hold on. Sam J, the comedian.
Yes, indeed.
Has very funny. She's extremely funny. She's the future.
Word up.
She has a special on Netflix, and she tackles Bezos flying, and not without NASA, and that how she had no idea you could even do that. That you can't contact NASA. That he was taking off on a Tuesday when everyone knows that NASA Day is Saturday. Things like that. And that is what popped in my head when I saw that he is flying from a launch pad on his ranch in Texas. What?
Yo.
So you've built a little jalopy and you're going to just put people on this little janky rocket and shoot it off in your backyard.
Word up.
And it's supposed to, I don't even know what suborbital means. So it's not going to go around the Earth. It's just below. We already know that this dude only went up to the parking lot of space and back, if that, the overflow parking lot. The furthest point away in the parking garage of space. He's nowhere near space. So we already know that's about as far as he's going to go. just far enough for your ears to pop. It's as far as he's going.
Yo, but it is kind of wild to me that like Pete Davidson was in Staten Island like 15 years ago, failing out of high schools, and this dude is going to be almost in space. Like, that is a come up. That is a change in life trajectory.
I mean, it would be if it was a legit space situation. But he's not going into space. He's riding on somebody's chicken wire and cardboard rocket of the crazy rich dude in a neighborhood who's shooting shit off from his backyard. He's going to get on that guy's rocket. So it still tracks with Staten Island.
It's just like a really advanced go-kart, okay? That's all it is.
Absolutely.
It just goes up.
Absolutely. You can't, the go-kart track is closed.
No problem.
So he's just gonna, and this rocket's supposed to be big enough for Bezos, Pete Davidson, and 3-4 other people who are just millionaires. Where's Lance Bass from NSYNC? He always wanted to go to space. Has he had a chance to go yet?
Not bad enough.
No, he wants to do it.
I know.
I mean, he honestly was looking into it like, I don't know, 15 years ago or some shit. I'm going to look up if Lance Bass made it to space.
I know there was like a running gag on I think it was on ABC. They have a TV show about like single parents where they would send their kids to summer space camp. And it was like Lance Bass's summer space camp. And Lance Bass would appear in the shit. So I thought that was dope. So he's still with that. That's still his brand. He wants to get out there.
Yeah. Here's what happened. He underwent training in Star City, Russia, and became a certified cosmonaut. Yeah. He was certified both by the Russian space program and by NASA for a mission, but the financial backing for the mission fell through, and he was unable to fly. So he's not able to fly because he didn't have the money fell through.
Yeah, because people heard
now
Lance.
this numbnuts has the money, and he ain't called Lance. Why are you calling Pete Davidson? Look, America knows Lance has wanted to go to space since 2002 is when he became certified.
Launch Lance.
Do you understand me? 20 years.
Launch Lance t-shirts.
Years. Launch Lance. Quit fucking around with Pete Davidson. We are so tired of talking and hearing about
That's
him.
it.
We wish him the best. Put him in a safe space because, but like Lance Bass has been trying to do this shit for 20 years. And we just gonna act like, yeah, that's a joke. We'll make you a recurring joke on the sitcom. No, make him go to space. Even though it's not space, even he would be in the rocket like, really?
This don't count.
I mean, yeah, because my man has had actual training.
Lance is like, I could have done this.
I know, but Bezos is treating this shit like it's goddamn ride at Six Flags.
Let my man Lance get up there, okay?
Yeah.
This is the weirdest Make-A-Wish ever, but I support it, okay? Lance deserves it. He's a great man.
Oh, boy.
Finally, Kyrie Irving, NBA fines Brooklyn Nets $50,000 for allowing a player to enter the team locker room. That's right. The NBA has fined the Brooklyn Nets organization $50,000 for allowing Kyrie Irving to enter the team's locker room on Sunday. Irving, who is unvaccinated against COVID-19, is unable to play in the team's home games due to New York City's workplace vaccine mandate, but is allowed to attend home games as a spectator. Irving is in attendance courtside for the team's 110-107 victory over the Knicks at Barclays in New York, and the NBA says the Nets were fined for violating local New York City law and league health and safety protocols. According to ESPN's Malika Andrews, Irving purchased the courtside seats himself. In a statement released on Monday, Nets star Kevin Durant expresses appreciation for New York City Mayor Eric Adams' efforts after critiquing him and the city's vaccine mandate on Sunday. The last 2 years have been difficult and painful time for New Yorkers, as well as a very confusing time with the changing landscape of the rules and mandates. The statement read, "I do appreciate the task the mayor has in front of him with all the city has been through. My frustration with the situation doesn't change the fact that I will always be committed to helping the communities and cities I live in and play in."
Whatever. Oh my God.
Yeah, I will say,
look,
Kyrie's jacket is fire. Okay.
Yeah, he had a nice jacket on
that
while
shit
he
was
sitting
hard.
courtside.
Hell yeah. While you getting fined 50 G's, this was worth being seen. Okay. This is an outfit. Oh, I will punch people for this jacket. 100% Shy. 100% I'm snuffing people for this jacket. This is one of one.
Oh boy. This NBA season has truly, and I've said it before, but this has truly been the most chaotic thing I've ever watched from far away. Like I try every season. I'm like, okay, this year I'm going to keep up, and I don't do a great job, but I do okay. And this time it felt like it started in chaos and it's only devolved from there. It's just been such a mess. And I'm just like, I don't even know what's happening. And I mean, like, this same game, I feel like Steve Nash called someone a fucking cocksucker and they caught him doing it. And, I'm like, okay, spicy, but we're all just so it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, yeah, pay the fucking fine because the dude won't get vaccinated, but he's still hanging out at the school after he fucking dropped out or whatever. He's on suspension. My man is on suspension and still hanging out on the school courts.
Yeah, nothing better to do.
Cheering. Well, he should have thought about that before he got suspended. He should have thought about that before he, broke all the mirrors in the ladies' locker room or whatever it was he did to get himself.
He's chilling. He's just unvaccinated, so he can't play because of the private business mandate in New York. So he can play when they're out of town, can't play when they're in town, but New York does allow unvaccinated people to come to games. So he's able to sit courtside and hang out all game. What he can't do is take part in the business. So he went to the locker room. That's now part of business. So he couldn't do that. But everything else, he could literally hug the players, dap them, sit right behind them. All that's cool. But you can't go in the locker room. That's where the germs are, apparently.
I did okay.
Real talk, it's silly. I get it. I understand KD and Kyrie's frustration with this, but they have they're smart dudes. I hope they have to see that this rule is in place for the 99.9% of other businesses that this actually affects in a positive way. There's a reason that the majority of people are being allowed to games without a mask is because those mandates led to 88% of New York having at least one vaccination shot. So they were effective, So yeah, you're right. Everyone else can come to the games and we're not checking that because that mandate put in place and put pressure into people to make a decision and did something for the greater good of people, whether they all wanted to or not. And yes, every now and then there's going to be a silly dynamic like one NBA player can't play. So yeah, I'm okay with that. And I'm as a Nets fan, I'm rooting for you to play. But I get it. I feel like this was for the greater good, and I hope y'all still win the championship and have some crazy story. I want to see that ESPN 30 for 30 about how y'all won with Kyrie.
Oh, there will be, I predict there will be a 30 for 30 on this season alone, no matter who wins, because this season has truly been so chaotic. There's definitely going to be one on Kyrie Irving.
I want to see it.
And his stance. Him taking a stance.
If you would like for Gastor to come punch you so he can get this jacket. That's right. He'll appreciate it, All you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. I don't need to hit y'all. Actually, I appreciate you willing to take it though. 4 stars. For the Apple and Spotify listeners, 4 stars, greatly appreciated. But it tells me that you won't take this punch. You don't want me to have the jacket bad enough. You selfish. You want the jacket for yourself. 5 stars, you understand. I'm trying to live my best life. I deserve this jacket. You'll let me hit you anywhere but the face because I'm trying to let you work too, you know? I don't want you to have to answer weird questions at work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Do you have any articles you'd like us to cover? Please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shouts to Aaron Anderson, and one of my favorite names is always with my cool Lash for donating a couple of articles our way. Always appreciate y'all with the assists. With all that said, my name is Gastor Almonte with the triumphant return of Shalewa Sharpe. This has been a War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.